My goal for you today is that you understand equivalent fractions very well. And we're going to use this magic piece of paper to help you understand equivalent fractions. So you should have a magic piece of paper at your desk, and then you'll go along with what I'm working on here. The first thing I want you to do is fold this paper down like a hamburger fold, just like that. And then, and as perfect as you can, and then open it back up again, and you will see that you have two equal pieces. Fractions are all about equal pieces. There's one piece and there's two pieces. And I'm going to ask you to color in one of those two pieces. So now I've colored 1 out of 2. So 1 out of 2, and that is 1/2 of the page, 1 out of 2 equal pieces. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to have you fold that back down to a hamburger fold like you did before, and then fold it another hamburger fold. So take this and fold it another hamburger fold. And I'm going to open it backwards so you're not looking at the color, you are just looking at the paper. Now how many pieces is that? So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. And if we flip it over, remember we had 1 out of 2. That would look like this, 1 out of 2. Now that we folded it up more, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. And how many of those 4 pieces are colored? It's 2 out of 4. So that is 2 out of 4. So make sure you fold yours like that. You didn't color anymore, did you? You colored the same amount. We haven't changed what was colored. We just changed the way we folded it. So it was 1 out of 2, and now it is 2 out of 4. It could still be 1 out of 2 if we were ignoring this fold here. So they're still the same colors, same thing. I didn't change the amount. Right, so let's fold it some more. So we'll take that page, fold it back the way it was, fold it back to the 4ths, and now hamburger fold it again with me. And then open that back up to the back of it, so you're not seeing the color. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 full pieces. 8 full pieces. And so how many do you think were colored? If we flip it over, how many of those 8 pieces will be colored? Because we're not coloring anymore. Let's flip it over and see. Of those 8 full pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4 are colored. I haven't changed how much I colored, I just changed the way I folded it. Let's do it one more time. Okay, so fold it over, fold it over, fold it over the way you had it when it was in 8s, and do it one more time. That one's a little harder. Make it as equal as you can. Open it back up again. Look at the back first, not the color side. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 total pieces. The denominator of my fraction is all about the total pieces that I have, 16 of them. Let's guess, or not a guess, some of you already see the pattern. What is the amount that will be colored here when we flip it over? Go ahead and make a guess, and then flip it over and count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 8 equal colored pieces. So let's take a look at what's going on here with these. Are called equivalent fractions because I didn't change what I colored. I just folded it differently. So you're not changing how much is there. That's not what's happening. We're just changing the way we separate it. So let's take a look at those numbers a little more closely. I had the fraction 1/2 where the numerator was 1 and the denominator was 2. And when I folded it again, I folded it the same here that I did to here. When I folded that page, I changed both numbers equally. and that made it to 2 out of 4 being colored. It was still the same amount colored. We didn't change that. But when we folded it, there was smaller pieces and more of them. Then we folded it again. That gave us 8 pieces. And of those 8, now the amount colored were 4 because we folded it the same way. The same thing that we did to the denominator, we did to the numerator. We did the same thing. And then when we had 16 pieces, we folded it that 4th time. We had 16 pieces. And because we folded this that way, we folded this that way as well. Whatever we did to the denominator, we also did to the numerator every single time. So take a look at these numbers as they transition across. And what do you notice about them? What pattern are you seeing? Push pause and take a look at it and see if you can find the pattern. You might not need to pause long, but pause and find out what the pattern you're seeing. All right, then now that you have figured out your pattern, I want you to explain it to me, and you're going to explain that in the app Educreations. Educreations can be found on your iPad somewhere. The icon looks like this. There's the white with the blue, red, and green dot on there, and there's a triangle there. You can't really see the triangle. Let me get it, see if I can get it to show it better. No, I guess not. It may not be on your bottom bar here. It might be in one of these areas here. So find it. It says Educreations underneath it, and click on it. If it doesn't have the whiteboard screen there, and it looks something like this, or it has some other ones there, just choose New Lesson. And I want you to write down those fractions. It's just like a whiteboard that you've used all along. And then what's different about this whiteboard is that you can record your explanation of what happened. So your job was to find the pattern of what was happening. And so now you will hit the record button, and it will record your voice while you explain to the iPad the pattern. So you are teaching that iPad what you noticed about the pattern. And when you're done explaining it, and you can write whatever you need to write if you want to write it and explain it at the same time. And then when you're done, push pause and done. And it will ask you to save. And I want you to save it as equivalent fractions. And once you've saved it as equivalent fractions, I will have you email it to me. Oops. By hitting the send button at the top over here, mail, and then on the whiteboard in the front and the side of the room, you can see where I want that sent to. Look on the whiteboard, that's the email address that I want you to send it to.